Hi, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Image Review on Dezi.life. I am your host, Carlos, as normal, and today we are doing one of my own. This is a portrait I shot of a friend of mine, Brandon, and we were just kind of going. He's another photographer. We were out in the fields one day, basically just doing, say, shooting each other and just talking about, our different techniques, our different styles, and kind of what we enjoy about how we shoot regarding and learning from each other. And I really do recommend people do that as well. Is just have your local network and take some time, just spend learning the craft from each other, teaching to each other and understanding, a little bit more of the thought process behind someone's style, not just the finished product. It does make you a much more versatile photographer when you can understand why they're doing the things that they're doing, as well as just seeing the final product. I always have a blast when I do this with other people. So, if this one wasn't a consumer image, but as I've been doing on the channel, I always look at it as if I was the consumer of this image, and then as if I was the, in air quotes, art critic of this image. And from the consumer standpoint, if I was the person receiving this as a result of a portrait session, I would actually be fairly glad with this image. It's simple, it's clean. I look pretty strong there. It's a little bit more of a stern look than anything warmer or heartwarming. And it kind of works okay. It's kind of a slightly, grimmer, say, landscape, more so than anything chipper or cheery. And the fact that it's in this kind of muted tone, black and white with a little touch of grain on it, that kind of does kind of help sell that older, more serious kind of vibe. Excuse me. And that's kind of what I would, when I'm looking at this as a consumer, the things that I notice and the things that I enjoy about it. And looking at this from a art critic, I still can't say that with a straight face. The things that I'm noticing about this image, especially after having been stepped away from this image for a while, are a few just minor distractions that I'm seeing. So the first one is just the immediate focus point. I do feel that the image is an acceptable focus. However, the main part, the part that's in perfect focus, the tack sharp, is just a little bit in front of the subject. If you see down here, these tall grass, it's just a little bit sharper than the lines on the jeans, the lines on his zippers, the lines on his collar. And that's just kind of a little bit of just probably shaking, the camera back and forth while shooting, or just, a little bit of back focus issues. I'm not sure which one was the direct cause, but that's one of the few things that I noticed about this image now. And the other thing that I'm noticing is just these handful of, they're out of focus here, but if you kind of follow this line, this isn't part of the tree line. This is another one of those tall grass things, and this guy over here as well. They're not horribly distracting, but I should have done something to keep them under bay. Especially this guy right here is still in just a little bit of the acceptable focus range. Those lines there, I do find extremely distracting, and right here in front of his sleeve, extremely distracting. I should have done a little bit more work in post, kind of cleaning those off, and polishing this image just a little bit more if I were to turn this into some sort of art piece. Now, I do like the foliage in the background. I actually wish I brought in just a little bit lower f-stop to bring some of this texture back. This has gone from looking, if I would have kept a little bit of this, a little bit in more focus, it would go from having, and you can see in the trunk areas, this really kind of cool spirally lines that are coming from the tree trunks. I wish I would have kept that followed through all the way to the tops of the trees. That way it kind of really does just kind of accentuate just kind of the grim, the fallish, the autumn season, and really kind of bringing that through. And then the other thing is a little bit in the crop. I have all this nice kind of skyline here, kind of coming through with a tree line. And right before the edge of the frame, I let it just fall flat. It just kind of just stays right here. I should really just remove this entire section of the image, or or clone something in there, but I always rather remove than clone something in and have something look fake. So like I said, always be mindful of your lines, kind of follow where they're going and see where your eye goes as they come down. And usually if they don't make it all the way across the frame, try to find out why and see where all that's, what you can do to help keep it, together all the way through the frame. If it's something like a horizon line like this. See if there's any last things I see before I wrap this one up. In the pose, I wish it's got that sterner, stronger look. But I wish I had him just a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more weight on the back foot, give him just a little bit more of, even though it's still in a position of strength, just a little bit kind of more shape to it rather than just a completely raw vertical. And rather than have his hands, and we were cold, but have his hands, slightly out of the pockets. That way, it's just a little bit more texture. I don't have this kind of, this kind of just interrupted flow here. If I would have had just a little bit more of this content there, I think it would have been a little bit better. Let's see, last call. Yeah. So that's pretty much kind of the few things I see that I would have rather had adjusted, when I take the shot and when I first put this image through post. Definitely go ahead and leave your opinions in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to submit an image for a review, definitely go to dezi.life and click on the image critiques link. And it'll kind of walk you through how to get onto the list, the wait list. And hope to see you guys soon, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, go forth and create something amazing.